Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a simple pinafore dress with no half joining, just like you have on denim. If you'd like to see how I made this, please watch to the end of this tutorial. To all returning subscribers, thank you for your support, and if this is your first time seeing my video, you're welcome. Consider subscribing if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like this video. For this project, I'll be using a basic dress pattern which I have made and uploaded on this channel. So you can go ahead and make your own basic dress pattern, but if you don't know how to do that, I'll be dropping the link on how I made this in the description box. So you can go ahead and make yours if you know how to make it without the zipper allowance. So I'm going to be cutting off the zipper allowance on the back pattern because I won't be needing the zipper at the back. After that, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the allowance I added at the side of the back pattern because of the zip bulge, the part I removed for the zip bulge. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and trim that off so I'll have the same side with the front pattern. I'll also cut out the shoulder joining allowance I added because I added all allowances on this pattern, so I'll cut that out before I go ahead and make the pattern for the pinafore. Starting with the front pattern, I'm going to make the pattern for the pinafore. So on the shoulder line, I'm going to measure 4 inches, which is my neck width. Okay, so I'm going to connect it to the darts on the dart leg on the bust line. Okay, because my half of my bust span measurement is 4, so I'm connecting it into to the bust line. Now I'm going to measure the width of the strap I want on the shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to take a measurement of 1.5 inches. That's what I want for the strap. Then for the length of the strap, I want it to be deep. The neck width, I want it to be deep by 7 inches. So I've measured 7 inches from the shoulder line and I'm noting it on this vertical line. Okay, I ruled from the shoulder. Now at that point, I'm also going to measure the 1.5 inches width for the strap. Okay, so after measuring that, I'm going to join them with a straight line. I'm going to connect from the shoulder to these 7 inches I measured down. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now, making the line visible. So after doing this, I'm going to square this out. Okay, so this is the neck depth, it's 7 inches in front. Okay, so after doing this, I'm going to make a curve. Okay, I'm going to curve out the part I don't need. So from this strap, I'm going to curve down to the waist or below the waist. Okay, so I decided to stop 1 inch below the waistline. Okay, so I'm just going to use a free hand and connect this line. Okay, you can see how I'm connecting it, just a free hand. I'm just connecting it down to 1 inch below the waistline. Okay, so I made it faint at first, so when I'm sure of the curve I want, I'm going to make it bolder so that you can see what I have. Okay, so for the seam allowance, you connect it in a straight line, not in a curvy manner. Then I won't be sewing that on this dress, so I'm going to remove the dart allowance I added on the pattern. So on the body measurement at the side before the seam allowance, I'm going to measure out 1 inch. That is what I have for my dart allowance. I will also measure the length of the darts from the waist downward. I have 5.5 inches. I measured that out as well. So I'm going to connect, removing my dart allowance. So you can see how I connected. Then I'm going to remeasure my side seam allowance because the allowance is already on this pattern. I'm going to remeasure 1.5 inches, which is what I have for my seam allowance, and then I'm going to connect as well. So I'll be cutting out the 1 inch for that from the side. Okay, you can see what I have. Now from this new curve, new body measurement, I'm going to come down again on the waistline. I'm going to come down again by 1 inch. Okay, so that I can connect to this point now. Okay, so I'm making the curve again, and then I'm going to use my marker to make all these lines, all these curves visible so I can see what I have before I go on and cut it out. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out the shaded parts, so that part won't be needed. I'm cutting it off. And after that, I'm also going to cut out the neckline. Okay, I'll cut out the neckline. So for the back part, I'm going to also take the same neck width of 4 inches and I'm going to connect it to the chest line on 4 inches. Okay, so I also measured 4 inches on the chest line. I'm going to take the same width for the strap like I did for the front part, 1.5 inches, and for the back part the strap will get to the chest line. It's going to get to 9 inches, which is the chest line. So I've connected as you can see. Okay, so I'll do the same thing like I did for the front. I'm going to remove the dart allowance like I did in front, 1 inch dart allowance. I would also measure the length of the dart and I'm going to connect it out. I'm removing it directly from the seam allowance. Okay, so after doing this, I'm going to then make the curve I did in front. Okay, starting from the strap, I'm going to curve and stop 1 inch below the waistline. So what I'm going to do is I measure out the 1.5 inches side seam allowance. So from there I came down by 1 inch like I did for the front. Then I'm going to make my curve the same way I did for the front pattern. Okay, so when I get to the seam allowance, the same thing, you make it straight. You're not going to curve into the seam allowance. So you can see what I have. So I'll use my marker to make this visible. Okay, so when I get the shape I want, I'll use my marker to make the lines visible. Now for the neck depth, I want the neck to be lower. So from the chest line, I'm going to measure down 2.5 inches. I want it to be deeper. I'm going to measure down 2.5 inches and I'm going to go inward by 2.5 inches again. Okay, so I want it to be in a form of should I say square, or I just want it to go down more. So I'm just going to make this shape. Just look at the shape I'm making. You can decide to make yours a total U or a V neck line. So this is the shape I want for the back. So I'll go ahead and use my marker, make it visible, and then cut out the back pattern. So I've cut out both, I've made both the front and the back pattern. Okay, this is the front and this is the back, and both the front and the back will be cut on fold. Okay, so I'm also going to go ahead and label the strap because I want to cut them out. I'm going to cut them out and join them as one piece. Okay, I want the front strap and the back to be cut as one piece, so I'm going to cut them out. So what I'll do is to label the front F and the back B. Okay, then I'll go ahead and cut it from this point. Just see where I'm cutting it off from for the front and the back. Okay, so I'm going to use a tape to hold them at the shoulder. I don't want to have a shoulder seam, but know that when you're holding them together, you should flip the front part to the back, okay, before you join them together. That way you have the right shape you made on your pattern. Okay, so I've joined them together with a tape. So you can see the back will be joined to the back this way. It will be attached to the back. Then there will be a button to the front strap. Okay, so when I place this way, you can see what I have. I've turned the front pattern now to the back. That is why I turned the strap also to the back. So this is what one side of the dress should look like. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use my patterns to cut out my main fabric. I'll also cut the strap 4 pieces. Okay, and I'll add allowances on all the sides, half seam allowance. I have cut the back and I added allowance to the neckline. I've already added the seam allowance on the side seam allowance on the pattern, and for the linings they are shorter by 1 inch. Okay, for the linings on this, and this strap I cut 2 pieces for each side, so I have 4 pieces and I added half-inch allowance all round. So I'll go ahead and sew them all around and turn it out from the side that will be attached to the back. Okay, so that's what I'll do for the straps. So after doing that, okay, so I'm going to turn them right side to right side. I will turn the straps, okay, right side to right side. I'll turn them and bring it out from the back part, okay, that part that will be attached to the back. So after doing that, I'm then going to attach the strap to the back piece. So I would open the back piece this way. Okay, so I'll place them right side to right side after turning the strap. Okay, so this is how, after turning it, I'll place it this way and join. Okay, so I'll join it. Okay, after that I'm going to then place my lining right side to right side of the fabric, and then turn everything out. Okay, so as you can see, I've already attached the strap, so all I'll do is to turn the neckline. When you turn the neckline, remember to notch and top stitch towards the lining side, then turn out every other part. Okay, and then leave a little bit where you can bring out your fabric from. So I've done all that. I've turned both the front and the back, so you can see how I joined the strap. I left a bit where I brought everything out, then I'll just stitch that part. Okay, so I've turned everything. All that is left now is to make I would make a buttonhole on the strap and fix a button on the main part in front. Okay, and I'll add zip to one side so that you can easily wear the dress. Okay, then I'll stitch the seams. I'll hold them together with the seam allowance I left for it. So I've done all that. Okay, I've fixed my button, I've made the buttonhole, I've attached my zipper so you can see the zip at the side. Okay, so you can see the zipper. I've done everything, and we've come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe to this channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Until the next tutorial, bye.